I see Sufism as being a discipline of human development through love, through the awakening and purification of the heart, which is the core knowing of the human being, the fundamental cognitive instrument that we have. So what to do with the heart, how to develop it, how to awaken it, I think this is a very fundamental human question, if not the fundamental human question. And I think for a long time I had been interested in something about the human being, some sense that human beings have a higher capacity for emotion than we normally think, that there are higher levels of emotional experience that are far beyond the typical emotions that psychology treats, like anger and fear and desire, but that there are much subtler levels of human emotion that could be experienced. And I was always interested in this, and now I was beginning to get the real material and to be among people who seemed to know how these experiences could be cultivated. It was as if there was a science of love, a science of the heart. But to call it a science is a bit misleading, because the science of the heart is very, very different from our quantitative sciences, such as physics and chemistry and biology. It's different because the science of the heart is a science of qualities, not of quantities. And it's the human heart, this instrument that we have, which is our core subjective experience. It's through this heart that we have a qualitative experience of this life. And what I mean by that is every human being, every normal, healthy human being at least, longs for relationship. Relationship is one of our most important and treasured experiences. Well, what is it that's sensing the importance, the beauty, the necessity of relationships? You could say it's the heart that is the organ of relationship. And to just simply be in relationship to another conscious being who is simply here, present with us, is one of the greatest experiences of life. But that's not the end of it, because the heart also can begin to move through stages of this experience to the point where we begin to sense that there is a presence operating in existence that we could also have a relationship with. And I don't mean to present this as if we're relating to some great infinite person in the form of a conventional idea of God, but know that there's something operating in all the events of life, in all the manifestations of life, an intelligence, a compassion, a nurturance that is guiding and educating us all. And that the heart senses this. When the heart is awakened, the heart becomes very sensitive to this presence. And as this develops in a mystic like Rumi, for instance, he begins to talk of some very great you with a capital Y. And one of the first questions to answer when considering the poetry of these mystics, and especially of Rumi, is what is this you? Who is this you that he's talking about? He may call it the beloved. That kind of gives it a metaphoric, personal form. But it's something that's beyond the personal. It is something truly cosmic. So I have a poem here that I think would be interesting to hear, that I think expresses this in beautiful poetic form. And it's called Nothing Happens Without You. And for somebody like Rumi and for Sufis, the presence of this you is something that is experienced through the heart. It touches us deeply. I don't think it's wishful thinking. I don't think it's fantasy. I think it is perceived by this instrument that we call the heart and can be verified by the mind, or it can be thought about by the mind, but it is not an experience of the thinking mind. It's an experience that comes to the heart when we begin to sense that this life is somehow purposeful and meaningful, and that there is just something going on beyond appearances that doesn't have to do with beliefs or theologies, but is a lived experience. And I think Rumi is attempting to express that when he says, should everything pass away, it couldn't happen without you. This heart of mine bears your imprint. It has nowhere else to turn. The eye of intellect is drunk with you. The wheeling galaxies are humble before you. The ear of ecstasy is in your hand. Nothing happens without you. The soul is bubbling with you. The heart imbibes from you. The intellect bellows in rapture. Nothing happens without you. You, my grape wine and my intoxication, my rose garden and my springtime, my sleep and my repose, nothing happens without you. You are my grandeur and glory. You are my possessions and prosperity. You are my purest water. Nothing happens without you. It is all your being, your gentle good faith, or your seeming cruelty. You are everything of mine. No matter where you are going, nothing happens without you. They place their hearts with you, and you break them. They repent. You break them again. You do all of this yourself. Nothing happens without you. Were something to happen without you, the world would be overturned. The Garden of Eden would turn to hell. Nothing happens without you. If you are a head, I'll become your feet. And if you are a fist, I'll become your flag. If you disappear, I'll turn to nothing. Nothing happens without you. You've disturbed my sleep. You've erased my personality. You've broken every attachment. Nothing happens without you. Should you stop being my beloved, my affairs would be disastrous. My comforter, my dear companion, nothing happens without you. Without you, life would not be delightful, nor death joyous. How can I rebel against your sorrow? Nothing happens without you. Whatever I say, O seal of judges, all seeming good and evil notwithstanding, say it yourself by your grace. Nothing happens without you.